Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. I'm to Dr. Intan, and this is the presentation for finding of from group 9, which is entitled the uses of spectacles among process and food engineering UPM students. First of all, I would like to introduce our group members: Suganti, Ama, and me myself Azrina, Najah, Siti Nur Hidayah, Farul Hisham, and Nur Fatin Syuhada. In this project, our target was the students of Process and Food Engineering from this faculty, which is Faculty of Engineering, University of Malaysia, and from the first year until the final year. The purpose is to understand the uses of spectacles among students. And the way we distributed the questionnaire is by using the Google Form link, which is we distribute the Google Form link to the WhatsApp group that we have among the every years of these courses.
Okay, so what is the gender of the respondent? So most of the respondent is from the female with 92.7% compared to the male with 7.2%. So this proves that 38 females wearing spectacles in the Department of Process and Food Engineering contain higher than males with only 3 people. So based on the latest research we're looking for, it is also proved that females with spectacles has more population than males. What is the age of the respondents? So none of them is from the age of 70 years old and below. So in the average, with the percentage of 78%, the age range of 20 to 25 years old respondent is higher compared to the 18 until 20 years old. This is because 20 until 25 years old range consists of 3 years of student, which is second year, third year, and final year student. While the 18 until 20 years old only consists of first year student. The figure also shows that 25 years old and above also shows no respondents in this survey. What is the rate? So most of the respondents is the Malay students with 85.4% and 35 respondents are measuring the pie chart above. So the Chinese students with 9.8% and 4 respondents, and finally followed with 2 respondents from the Indian students. So this is because major of the students from Department of Process and Food Engineering are Malay students. So which year are they studying? So the highest number of students wearing spectacles is from the final year student as shown above, with 31.7%, which consists of 13 respondents from final year students. So it followed with the first year student with 29.2%. Then the third year students with 22%, and lastly by the second year students with 70.1% take part in this survey.
So this is the findings for the question 5. Is about how much is the power of your spectacles. So this is the data that we get from the survey question, which is we have below. When below 100, there are none of the students. 101 to 200, we have 5 students from first year, 4 students from third year, and 3 students from the fourth year. And among of this, you can see for the 301 until 400, we have the similar amount of students, which is 3 students from the first year, 3 students from the second year, and 2 students from the third year, and none from the fourth year. And for this one, we have none for the third year, and above 500, we have 3 students from the fourth year. So we can see when we plot the bar graph, among of all this power, we have more students from the first year until the final year. At the 100 until 200, at the power of the 101 until 200, which is the 12. We have got the 12 students, we can see the highest power, which is above 500, we obtain the highest number from the final year students. So as what I found from the newspaper of Cosmo, from the Prof. Dr. Haziza said that the research that they conduct at the University Kebangsaan Malaysia, the percentage of the power of the users of spectacles increases as the time of their using electronic devices increase. So we can see, maybe we can assume at this, at final year student, yeah, they have a lot of more time to do assignment, thesis and all that. So that's why we get the highest number of above 500 at 4th year. And okay, also we can see below 100, there is none of the student, means that we can assume that they just enter these courses, maybe their power is not as high as and it will increases as the uses of the electronics increases. And that's all for my part.
For the sixth question is, since when you wearing the spectacles? As we can see from this budget, none of students that wearing start to wear spectacles when they below than 6 years old. While the majority of the KPM students start to wear spectacles during their age 15 to 17 years old, and the rest is start to wear the spectacles during 7 to 12 years old and above 18 years old. And this is the relative frequency histogram that shows the number of food and process engineering students that wear spectacles.
For my part, I did for question number 7. What do you think the cause of you wearing the spectacles? And as we can see, our option is use phone, reading, inheritance, and fashion. And none of our respondents choose fashion as the cause of wearing spec. Majority of them, 19 over 41 students responded, choose use phone, and reading, 12 of them choose reading as cause of wearing spectacle. And for inheritance, 10 students choose this option. We can suggest them how to prevent by using phone and reading. Okay, for the use of phones, we tend to open our eyelid wider and blink less when we are staring at screens. To protect ourselves, we can keep the screen as far away from your eyes. Every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break and look off into the distance. So next, how to prevent? Try not to read continuously for long periods of time. Read in interval, and also avoid reading electronic devices. Thank you.
So I'll be presenting on how many times do our respondents change their spectacles. Okay, so the parameters that we have set, the first one is none, the second is around 5 to 7 months, the third is 1 to 2 years, and the last one is the most, which is more than 3 years. And from what we have obtained, it seems that the least amount of respondents occur during the 5 to 7 months period with a percentage of only 2.4%. And if you can see on this line graph, it is decreasing for every period. So this means it's because our demographics are students and they do not have their own financial source. So that would explain why changing their spectacle for around 1 to 2 years yields the most number of respondents. Because it's the standard time where during that period their glasses might get broken, or their glasses or their power will increase, and changing frequently is absolutely not an option for students. So that's why there is only one respondent for 5 to 7 months. Next. And my second question will be considering the design and shape when choosing spectacles. So this result is 100%. And it means that every respondent, everyone cares about how they look when they wear spectacles. So that's all for me.
Okay, now we move on to the next question, which is what shape of spectacles do you prefer? So from the statistic, we know that most of the respondents choose rectangle as their shape of spectacles. So you can see this is the highest one. The reason why most of the respondents choose rectangle is it is the most
most common shade of spectacles that available in store, and it is suitable to be wear for all ages. It's easy to be made by the producer compared to other shapes that needs a measurement to precise a certain standard shape. About 22%, 19.5% and 17.1% of the respondents prefer to choose square, round and oval respectively. So this is because they have been affected by the trend nowadays that wearing different types of shape of spectacles to be called hipster or to look more stylish and trendy. So the next question is, how much did you spend for spectacles? So most of the respondents vote for in range in 100 ringgit to 200 ringgit. So this is because they might need low power of lens, and also they might get any discount for the student price. About 7.3% of respondents voted for less than 100 price because they have a very low power and get a very low discount for the spectacles. The highest percentage of respondents spend their money in range of 200 ringgit until 300 ringgit. This is because it is a standard price in Malaysia according to the frame of the spectacles. 24.4% and 71.1% of the respondents voted for 300 ringgit until 400 ringgit range, and also for 400 ringgit and 500 ringgit range respectively. That's all.
Alright, as for my question number 12, do you know how that the power of your spectacle can be reduced? From the survey, we managed to collect this result with the agreement. First is yes and second one is no. The agreement yes, basically from the random sample, 3 of them do know that they can reduce the spectacle power, and the other 11 respondents doesn't have clue that they can reduce their spectacle power. Basically, what lead to this happen is because maybe among that 11 respondents might facing a problem where they have increasing of power spectacle from the first time they were spec until now. So question 13, do you know how the power of your spectacle can be reduced? Compared to the previous question, this one is much more detailed, asking the respondent whether they know that there is a way that they can reduce the spectacle power. So from the survey, agreement for yes have a frequency of 16 people, and agreement no about 25 people. We can say that majority of the people doesn't know the specific way on how they can reduce their spectacle power. So basically, the way of reducing your spectacle, there is a way that is quite expensive, called LASIK process, where you have to laser your eyes. So I think that's one of the effective way to reduce the spectacle. I think that's all for me.
Okay, for the statistic question, we can see that N value is 41 and the P value is 0.339. This is a question that represent binomial approximate to normal. For A, 25 students know that the knowledge of how to reduce power of spectacles. When we refer to the table A1, there is no x, value of x equal to 25. So we are using a normal binomial approximate to normal. First, we have to find mu, which is mean by multiplying 431 to 0.69. Okay, then we have to substitute the normal formula to find z, which is we have to find mu and standard deviation. So we find standard deviation using this formula, set n times p to q. Then we substitute the value that we get from question and our calculated. From table, we refer table A3, exactly 25. The value of x is 3.05. So we have to minus z less than 3.05 minus z.3.04. Okay, and the answer is 0.01. For the B question, you have to find the percentage of students, more than 20 students didn't know the knowledge. Okay. The p-value has been changed into 0.65 because the probability success is of the student didn't know the knowledge. So we use the same formula, but we change the number of probabilities of success. We substitute all the calculated value into this also in the same formula at the above. Okay, so we find that the answer is 0.9251. And then, as I said, this formula, this question asks for the percentage. So we have to times with 100. So the answer is 92.51%.
So we hope that the findings from the survey may help to expose the understanding on the usage and also good habits that can be practiced to students. Thank you for